Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Numbers are quite low at the moment on viewings and comments and likes and stuff. It's not terrible actually. The hardcore people are still there, which is great, but there's no extras, and I think that's quite simple. It's because people like the will it start videos, have I fixed it videos, rather than the kind of long-term Honda CB videos. So I'm going to do something drastic today, live here on YouTube. I'm going to count down from 3 and I'm going to show you my head just for viewings. 3, 2, 1. So yes, welcome back guys. It's cold December, but we're okay. This is the head of the Chinese bike. It's taken absolute months to get it back to here where it's kind of just okay. Really, it's normal. As in, it's got its valve in and seated, which is good. It's got its guides on, and it's, you know, functioning as a head. So I'm really going to test myself today, I have to be honest. Let me just show you the other thing I've done is the here the exhaust port drilled and tapped new threads into that side so that we can get the exhaust on nice and flush. So I'm going to pull out the old Chinese bike and we're going to look at it. What have I done? What have I kept on there? Where have I put the parts? Blah, blah, blah. It's going to kind of test me on how well I kind of did it or not. If I'm being honest, when I took it apart, in my head it was junk. It was bin. I wasn't expecting to rebuild it really. So I need to have a good look over it and see what we can do. But if we're extremely lucky today, which probably won't be, the head's back on, I somehow time it, and we might be able to hear it fire up. So let's start with the basics. Let's pull out the old Chinese bike. It's called a WK something 125 from 2016. So yeah. Right. So it's got nothing. No front brake, who would have ever guessed? Yeah, I'm a bit speechless, but the main thing is, well, first of all, where is everything? And secondly, once the engine's on and doing something, in a way, the hard part's done, in a way. Even the timing. Right, what I need to do is pull out parts now. Let's see what we've got. Putting the head on doesn't worry me too much. That's kind of straightforward enough. Chuck the head on, try and get it timed up. But that's in some ways the easy part. Right, okay. I mean, I genuinely don't know what I can achieve today, guys. But let's see if we can get the head on. Let's see if we can find the timing adjustment. Let's see, I don't know, maybe even get an exhaust on. let's do some of the basics at this stage. So if you look at the timing on this, obviously it's not bolted. It's a basic system. That line needs to point up to the top, which is there. Now it's one to the right or slightly to the right, so what you should do here is twist it one to the left, which is what I will be doing, but I'm just showing you because actually you could notch it one to the left, you see, and it could be slightly to the left of the ridge as well. It's a bit hit or miss. This, it's something that you might need to try a couple of times. That's the reality. In the past I've done that, one tooth on, one tooth off, and you just kind of have to play with it basically. So I'm going to play with that. I'm going to turn it one tooth to the left, see if it sits a little bit better. If it does, happy to go. I'll find all the head bolts and we'll start bolting this down. So exactly what I said, one tooth to the left now looks off from the same kind of angle. So I'm going to spin the engine 360 to get to the top dead center again, just in case we're at a false top dead center. So I'm going to take that off, spin the engine again, just in case we're at a false top dead center, and see if it lines up a bit better on the next rotation. That is always worth looking into. It could be that you have a false top dead center because it's a 4-stroke, you see. Earlier. So this is pretty much spot on after one full rotation. I have no doubt it's slightly to the right, but actually no, it's spot on really. I'm happy with that from a timing point of view. 17 on the bottom, 17 on the top. You can hold the bottom and torque up the top. That's worth doing. Don't forget the spacer, which I've forgot, although this was only hand tight to be fair. Nip that up, and then you want to look at the head bolts. Slight concern here is, I remember the head bolts being a bit awkward to get through because of the frame, so I'm going to have to find them. No point nipping that up until we know for a fact that we can get the head bolts in. I think, if I remember rightly, you had to tilt the head to get them in. So far, the head nuts are in and torqued up, which is good. I've just set the valves by hand, by eye, for now. You can get a basic setting by feel and by eye, and then of course I'll do a real setting further down the line. What I need to see now is simple things like the intake manifold. Where is that? I've got these two bolts here, I'll get them in a moment. And exhaust, I guess. So just to catch you up, we've got the carbs on. I found the carb. Haven't cleaned it out or anything, but to be fair, it should be fine. I need to nip up the spark plug. I've done it by hand at this stage. Yeah, I need to just nip that up. That's where it all went wrong last time. I can't remember if I left the oil in. I don't see any reason why I would have taken the oil out. Coil there, good to go. What might I need now? I mean, I could kind of nip the exhaust on just so it's there. I probably should actually, shouldn't I? Alright, I think exhaust next. I've even put in the EGR system, look. So that's functioning at this stage. Right, exhaust next so that we've got that bit set up. I don't know how I've got this far, actually, guys, honestly. Today, it doesn't seem right, but it is this far. No throttle at the moment. I'll need to buy new of all that, but I can, of course, throttle it like that. And no brakes at all. At least no front. I think the rear is probably okay. So not bad. So let me nip up the spark plug while I'm thinking about it. And then I'm going to try and get the exhaust on, even just kind of mocked up at this stage, just on with a couple of bolts in there, doing something. Because ideally I'd like to hear this again. And then I might need to do a fuel run. And I'll need to bring the car in to hook it up. And we'll see if we hear this thing again. But that's not, even if we hear this engine today, that's not the works, because I mean it needs a new chain. It needs all of the switch gear up here. I put these on to test them, but they're not really working. I need a new clutch cable because that's not right. I've just realised that. Look, I don't know what's going on down there. Clutch cable, clutch lever, brake lever. So I'm not sure about the switch gears, but I remember them not to be working. No idea about lighting at this stage, no idea about anything else. So it's even if it did something later on today, it really isn't the works yet. Also, I don't want to use that tank. You can get the Chinese tanks for pounds, so I'll probably get a black basic Chinese tank at some point and just make it a little bit neater, although it's quite a tall frame. Look at the way it sits. I might have to kind of think about that. Oh, I mean, I'll make it work one way or another. Okay, so that exhaust is not on, so if it falls off, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. We just want to see if the engine runs, if the timing's right, if the carb holds fuel. I didn't clean the carb. It's been on the shelf for months, so it might need a clean. But ultimately, we'll just see roughly if it does anything at all. If it even holds fuel. Start button's down here, look.
I'm dead.
I don't even want to turn over, look.
Don't want to turn over, so be dead.
Sticky.
There's a kickstand gone.
Oh, it could actually be in gear though, couldn't it? Did we mess with the choke? Is it on or off?
I think it's on.
It's on. I think it's on.